Good morning, everyone. 12th class, Accountancy, Chapter 5, Cash Flow Statement. And today's topic is calculation of cash flow from operating activities. एक बार आप कल वाला 2 minutes के लिए ज्वाइन कर लीजिए, 1 minute के लिए सॉरी रिवाइज कर लीजिए, नॉट ज्वाइन. कैश फ्लो फ्रॉम ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटी जो मैंने कल आपको वर्किंग नोट बनवाया था वो आप सब प्लीज रिवाइज कर लीजिए because that is important for today's portion. Clear? So yesterday we started with a working note and I told you that you have to consider the profits for the year, add transfer to reserve, then add provision for tax made during the year, then add interim dividend, then proposed dividend of the previous year. And if any refund of tax is there, that will be subtracted and final outcome will be written here. Your main answer, main format will be starting with the final outcome of the previously or the yesterday done topic. So that outcome is known as net profit before net profit. It may be loss. If it is in loss, then you are going to show it in bracket. Loss means in bracket, negative figure. And if it is profit, you are going to show it in positive manner. So these all things, this complete format you have to learn. Okay. So different parts are there in this format. After understanding it, you have to learn it. Keep in memory, you have to retain this format because all the questions you will be able to do depending upon this format only. If you know the format, only then you can do the question. So we are going to start the format with the previously done topic outcome. So yesterday the outcome was net profit or loss before tax and extraordinary item. Now some non-cash and non-operating expenses will be added. Why? First of all, I just want to explain the reason why the non-cash items and non-operating expenses are added. So non-cash items are those items in which there is no effect on cash. Non-cash items are those items in which there is no effect on cash. Ambika, I am removing you. Sorry, dear. Any moment, if any student's video is off, then I will remove him or her immediately. So don't try to make me fool. Yes. Cash flow from operating activity we are doing. So non-cash expenses, I was telling you, non-cash expenses are those expenses which are incurred, but there is no cash involved in that. For example, depreciation charged on machinery. So the journal entry for the depreciation is, what is the journal entry? That is depreciation account debit to machinery. This is the journal entry for depreciation. You can see that in this journal entry, there is no involvement of cash. Similarly, whenever we are making a provision for doubtful debt, then again there is no involvement of cash. So some of the examples, similarly, the goodwill is amortized, all the intangible assets are amortized, then the same entry will be passed. If the goodwill is amortized, then the entry will be amortization account debit to goodwill. Clear? So in these entries, in these type of entries, there is no involvement of cash, but still they are expenses. So these expenses are known as non-cash expenses. As we are making cash flow statement, so we are not going to show all these expenses, but when we calculated the net profit, we have subtracted all these expenses, depreciation, amortization, provisions, provision for doubtful debts, provision for discount on debtors. We have subtracted all these provisions, but actually they have not affected the cash flow. So all these non-cash expenses will be added back. Similarly, the non-operating expenses. Non-operating expenses like interest. Interest paid on any loan, whether it is a short-term loan or a long-term loan, while making profit and loss account, we have subtracted the interest already. But that is not an operating expense. Already I have explained you that interest paid is a financing activity. Finance cost, we can say. It is also known as finance cost. In statement of P&L, we had studied interest as finance cost. Interest as finance cost. So interest will be also added back. So first of all, we are going to write the outcome of the previously done topic, profit or loss before tax and extraordinary item. Then add all the non-cash expenses and non-operating expenses. What are the examples? And you can change the sequence of these examples here. It is not necessary that the same sequence you need to follow. Clear? So first is the depreciation. It is the non-cash expense. Second is the amortization, like goodwill, patents, written off. How you will come to know that the goodwill are amortized? Goodwill is amortized. For example, in the balance sheet, what will be given? Like goodwill is given in the balance sheet. Okay. And this is a 2-year balance sheet, 2019 and 2020. In 19, goodwill was of rupees 1 lakh, and in 20, it has become 80,000. So the value of goodwill is decreased. So if the value of in any intangible asset is decreased, then it is known as amortization. So you have to just check what was the opening balance and what is the closing balance. So if the closing balance is decreased, it means it's a amortization. So it is decreased by 20,000. So this 20,000 will be added here. Intangible asset, goodwill, amortized. So you have to check the balance sheet for each and every item. You have to check the information given for each and every item. Then similarly, the other intangible assets like patents, copyright, trademark, whatever the intangible assets are given, if their value is decreased, then the difference will be added here. Then loss on sale of fixed assets or non-current assets. So this is a, if you have during the year sold any fixed asset, okay, so there may be profit or there may be loss. So if you remember, then in statement of P&L account or in 11th class in P&L account, we were writing loss on sale of fixed asset on the debit side of P&L. This is the P&L and we were writing here to loss on sale of fixed asset. And if there was a profit, we were writing on the credit side. It means this profit is already added in the net profit and this loss is already subtracted from the net profit. But actually, it is not our operating expense. Loss on sale, loss by fire, all these are the non-operating expenses. Already we have studied in ratio chapter. So this loss will be added here because this has already subtracted from the profit. So we have to remove the effect of this loss from the profit. So that's why it will be added back. Then finance cost means if any interest is paid. One more is there, that is if any preliminary expenses are written off. So it will be given in the question clearly that the preliminary expenses are written off. So they will be subtracted. Next. Yes. Then discount or loss of issue of debenture. If this term will be there in the question, it will be clearly mentioned in the balance sheet. Provision made for doubtful debts. So how you will come to know that the provision is made? So in balance sheet, it will be given again. Provision for doubtful debts. Suppose in the previous year, the provision for doubtful debt was 10,000 and in the current year, it has become 25,000. So what does this show? This tells us that in current year, we have made the provision of 15,000. 10,000 was the provision of previous year. And in current year, we have made 15,000 provision. So that's why the current year provision has become 25,000. Himanshu, I will remove you from class. So make sure you are not turning off your video. Yes, so 15,000. So this 15,000 will be added. You please, everyone start writing this format in your notebook side by side. I can see that many of the students are sitting vacant. If you people are not writing, then how you will be able to learn? So each and everything, whatever I'm telling you, you are supposed to write. Specifically the formulas and the formats. Yes. So discount on loss of issue of debenture will be clearly given in the question. Then provision and what you can write, increase in provision made for doubtful debts. Yes, increase in provision for made for doubtful debts. Then premium on redemption of debentures. It will be also given. So this is the complete list of the expenses which are either cash expenses, non-cash expenses, or the non-operating expenses. So all of these will be added. Now it is not necessary that in every question all these terms will be given. Any 2, 3, 4 terms may be given in a single question. But this is a complete list of which expenses. In this complete list, two type of expenses are included: non-cash and non-operating. Both I have explained. Depreciation, I'm repeating. If you have not written till now, you can write depreciation, intangible assets amortization, loss on sale of fixed asset, finance cost, example is interest, and preliminary expenses written off. Then discount or loss on issue of debentures written off, provision made, increase in provision for doubtful debts. Instead of writing made, what you can write? Increase in provision for doubtful debts. Then premium on redemption of debentures. So all these items will be added in the first answer of the first step. This is the second step. Then we need to subtract the non-operating non-operating incomes. As we have added back the non-operating expenses, so similarly the non-operating incomes will be subtracted. Non-cash as well as non-operating incomes will be subtracted. So interest income, you all know that interest received, dividend received, rent received, all these are non-operating incomes because these are the incomes from investing activity. So these three incomes will be subtracted from here. Why? Because we are doing operating activity only. So in this activity, only the operating expenses as well as the operating incomes will find a place. So anything which is non-operating, either will, if it is a non-operating expense, then it will be added back. Why? Because it is already subtracted. If it is a non-operating income, then it will be subtracted. Why? Because it is already added. So you have to revert the effect of the profit and loss account. So these three incomes are basically the non-operating income. Why? Because these are the investing income. Which three? Interest, dividend, and rent. So what we can write? Interest received, dividend received, and rent received. Interest received, dividend received, and rent received. Then profit on sale of fixed asset. Profit on sale of fixed asset. Like loss we have added back. So if there is a profit, we will be subtracted. So there may be only one thing, either profit or loss. If during the year you have sold the asset, then both cannot be there. Either there will be profit or there will be loss. If there is a profit, it will be subtracted. If there is a loss, it will be added back. Then excess provision for depreciation written back, excess provision, these two will be never used. So no need to write it. These two will be never used in your class level. So no need to write these two. So instead of this, you can write decrease in provision for doubtful debts. Increase in provision we have added. So the decrease in provision we will be subtracting. So after subtracting all these items all together, the final outcome of the step 2 will be known as operating profit before working capital changes. Yes, it will be known as operating profit before working capital changes. I am repeating, operating profit before working capital changes. It means after doing the adjustment for the non-operating expenses and the non-operating incomes, whatever the outcome you will be getting, that outcome will be known as operating profit before working capital changes. One more time I am repeating for your better understanding, and side by side try to learn this format or these steps so that it is fixed in your mind. So you can speak up little bit slowly in your mind. For mind speaking you can do. So outcome of the first step, which is the profit before tax, then few items will be added. What? Depreciation, amortization, interest, preliminary expenses, loss on sale of fixed asset, then discount on or loss on issue of debentures, provision, increase in provision for doubtful debts, then POR, premium on redemption of debentures. Then some of the items, what? Non-operating incomes and non-cash incomes will be subtracted. Interest received, dividend received, rent received. profit on sale of fixed asset, and decrease in provision. So whatever the outcome will be coming, that will be known as a operating profit before working capital changes. Now let's do one question before going to the next portion of the question. Just a minute, beta. Hanji, sorry, beta. Sorry for interruption. Next, so now we will do one question for this. Wait a minute. Yes, this is the question. And in this question, you can see that Raj Limited had a profit of rupees 17,50,000 for the year ended 31st March 2020. And this type of question will come in 6-marker question. Okay. Before writing of goodwill. Before writing of goodwill means these profits are before writing of goodwill. Calculate cash flow from operating activities. So till now we can do only 2-3 steps. So 17,50,000 is the profit, and in this question you can see that there is nothing is given about transfer to reserve, interim dividend, proposed dividend, कुछ भी given नहीं है. So you will assume this is the profit before tax. So if these items are given, only then you are going to use those items. So this will be taken as a profit before interest and tax. So you will start with this item, and you need to do till here only, loss on sale of machinery. The further additional information you need not to treat it, as I have not told you till now. Yes, tell me fast. Remember, consider this point before writing of goodwill. Means in this profit, goodwill is not amortized. So you have to decide whether it is to be added back or not. Clear? Whether it is to be added back or not. Find out net profit before working capital changes. I am waiting for your answer. I am giving you just 2 minutes or 1 minute.